Winter war is about to erupt with a brutal civil war between the Roman houses. They have assembled their allies for one last stand, both sides looking for victory as there is everything to gain. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2. In today's episode, as you can see, we have an absolutely amazing stacked battle. We have the forces of the Syracuse, we have Seleucids and Rome going up against the Spanish, the Romans, and also the, I can't even remember what this colony is called. But either way, there's plenty of enemies on either side, and it's going to be one hell of a battle. So I hope you guys are sitting comfortably. We've got 55 minutes on the clock as the units get closer and closer to fight. And if you guys do enjoy these massive online battles, then do make sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment. It really helps out the channel and goes a long way. Obviously, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the Discord. Link is down below in the description. So for the armies, we basically have a pretty standard setup for most sides. We've got Principes and Legionaries for the Roman player. Again, I've seen a lot more of these Principes being brought into the battle, which I desperately don't hate. I think they're a very cheap and effective unit. We also have a lot of Thorax on the Greek side of things with Syracuse and also with the Seleucids. Silver Shields obviously being one of the more notable units for the Seleucids. Such a deadly infantry unit. We've obviously got Syrian heavy archers, and I'm sure the Seleucids are also bringing Cretan archers. Just normal archers actually in this one. We've got actually a Roman setup back here with the more elite soldiers. So Principes and the rest of the infantry going forward to try and break the initial defense and then bring forward the more elite, which is obviously always a sound strategy. Also, I kind of quite like this. The Syracuse player has actually put siege towers in front of his artillery so they can't be sniped right away. Actually quite like that. I imagine they can't shoot back, but you know, it's actually a pretty smart idea, and it's something interesting to see. As we can see, though, we are getting the first initial assault of the walls where siege towers have made their way forward, and the Arabassi are going to be the first force there ready to push them back. Obviously, the #1 goal for this initial assault is take care of this tower. You want to wipe this tower out so you're not taking this consistent missile fire that is just coming in and doing a lot of damage. We are now getting a bit more a bit of a better look as well at the soldiers back here. Again, you've got some awesome Eastern Axemen here. These guys do some serious damage. So I'm pretty sure this faction is right near Armenia. I can't for the life of me remember what they're called. Maybe they are called Kotila or Kotil. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I'm pretty sure they're like an Armenian-esque faction. And that's like kind of Armenian-Greek, you know, style. Or maybe they're up by Archbosphorus. I honestly cannot remember. But either way, they look amazing. I love their helmets. They're definitely a DLC faction. Their helmets are absolutely awesome. A mix between Greek and Eastern, so they kind of have the best of both worlds when it comes to heavy cavalry, heavy infantry, and obviously the good archers as well. So right now, the Axemen are unleashing a hellfire with their javelins onto the Thorax swordsmen and also onto the lighter spearmen as well, the Eastern spearmen that Syracuse have brought up. So not a bad unit to kind of absorb these. You'd much rather these javelins go flying in on your less expensive units because they do not discriminate. Obviously, the Thorax have a bit of a better ability to repel them. But still, we're going to take down a lot of the numbers here. It's much better sticking them on the Eastern Spearmen, you know, who aren't as heavily armoured and are going to be absorbing that. Because you only get 2 javelins per unit. And there you go. The first initial ploy of the battle has been successful. The attackers have managed to destroy the tower right there, which is going to be helping them out on this flank. And normally a lot of players do go for these kind of pocket positions like so, because they're basically away from a lot of the other towers around the battlefield. And if you can kind of secure this tower, it opens up avenues for you to basically use it as a beachhead to then move in and take the rest of the settlement like so. So yeah, it's not bad, and they actually have done a pretty good job so far. Obviously, it's very heavy fighting as the Romans now arrive. As that Pila throw goes flying off, meeting this Qatari and fully engaging them, and I mean, that's a beautiful picture to behold, that is for sure. And I don't know, there's just something about the pre-Marian Romans that I think is absolutely awesome. Like, I think it just looks so goddamn cool. Really, really does, yeah, spread out, and I think it just makes it look amazing. As we see more and more soldiers, a lot more of the Syracusians are now arriving as well to reinforce. We're getting some decent infantry thrown in here. We actually do have the Thorax hoplites up here. So, you know, a pretty sturdy later unit going in against the Scutarii, and more reinforcements, more of the Axemen are being thrown forward. And this is actually a really good idea as well, to be throwing forward these Axemen right away, because obviously the Axemen are great at armor piercing. So throwing forward the lighter units first is actually a pretty good way of dealing with them. I doubt it's intentional, but still kind of a nice little, you know, consequence of what is happening along this battlefield. More and more of the Greeks are finding their way forward. However, they are taking a lot of heavy missile fire. And what type of missiles have we got to run with? Eastern archers. So I assume these guys are, yeah, pretty low when it comes to armor. But again, they're bowmen, so they don't really need it. And they're able just to keep on shooting. I wouldn't mind to see some, like, siege towers being brought around, but I think they've used all their siege towers. Like, imagine right now if the Seleucids had a couple siege towers spare, which they do. They could definitely try and bring them around. And maybe just kind of hit down here, pressure the archers, so the archers have to fall back. It'd be a really good strategy, and I think this is something that a lot of players don't do enough of. They don't hold siege towers until, like, the later. Because right now, like, this siege tower coming down, I guess it's going to be quite effective because it's going to go into the back of these guys. But still, just imagine how effective it would be sending, you know, 3 siege towers at this point in the battle round here. You know, you completely cut off the defense here. Obviously, unless the attackers really set up well, you'd be able to get a good charge off into the back of these hoplites. And, like, obviously, if you charge into the back of these hoplites, they are taken care of. They are out of the battle. So it's just kind of like small moves like that, which I think are really effective, and I don't really see too often in multiplayer battles. And these are very good players as well, taking part. But maybe that's more of a thing you'd see in like a tournament game more than anything else. In tournament games, I guess people are try-harding to the max, which you definitely can't complain about whatsoever. I love to see it, that is for sure. Slow down the camera a little bit, go down the battle line. Oh, baby, that's what we like to see. Just watching the heavy hoplites of this faction. I can't remember what the name is. The Spanish reinforcing. And actually getting the first glimpse of the Romans now. The defending Roman side off in the distance right there. And yeah, immediately the artillery is focusing them down as they come through the trees. Definitely a unit that you do want to kill. You do not want the Roman legionaries to get themselves stuck in unsuppressed, unencumbered. You want to be making sure that all your missiles are manned. Speaking of missiles, there's a brutal volley going in there on the Scutarii. Taking them down by about 20 men right there with one volley. And the attackers are desperately just trying to overload the defenders with all they can. So again, to keep in mind, just look at the colours when you're looking at Roman flags. The blue will be the attackers, the red will be the defenders. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, so we actually do have a Vercio cohort being thrown forward. Luckily, though, the artillery did do a number on it. And obviously, we do have a heavy amount of archers. All of Syracuse and also the Persian light archers as well. That's a lot of missile fire, and they can focus down these lighter units very effectively. I say that, though, but they're all going in on the noble fighters. And that's an extremely expensive unit that's getting absolutely melted. The Thorax hoplites holding them in place for Syracuse, and then the archer fire coming in and just decimating them. And yeah, as we said, this is an expensive unit. The top tier Armasi infantry about to break at 60 men just because they've been taking so much fire. And it does seem like the attackers are slowly making progress, but on this left flank, they're doing a pretty good job at repelling the enemy. The morale there as well. And this unit of Thorax swordsmen is so low. Why the hell is it so low? They've got 147 men. If they break right now, that'd be huge. Absolutely insane. Again, if we take a look at the overall battlefield, I mean, I love to see these huge engagements. We'll go up from the bird's eye view. You can see a lot of the engagement. And yes, we do have 4 siege towers right here. I'd just say go to like a different part and start putting pressure here. I mean, I think over on this right-hand side would be less effective. I think on this left-hand side would be so effective because this is like directly to the battle, you know. They either give up this entire street and fall back and then defend like this position here, or they overcommit to holding this street, which I think is just so effective. So, yeah, I think this left-hand side would be so good to put them siege towers, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to quite see it. More reinforcements are arriving, but yeah, this Seleucids are really struggling with morale, and I don't understand completely why. They've got 4x infantry who are shaken just because they're being attacked in the rear. I thought the Greeks liked that, you know? And if they break right now, that'd be pretty bad. And look at that missile fire. That is literally like an MG42 machine gun nest. Just unloading volley after volley. Man, war is hell. That is for sure. That is so many missiles coming in. And the Greeks are getting pushed back. Their morale is dropping. And they're going to really have to kind of step up the game and try and break through if they expect to win this one. They are definitely up against it as more and more missile fire comes in. But then again, do remember that this missile fire is only, you know, temporary. They're not going to have ammunition for days. So if they use all their ammunition now, it's going to mean the harder fight is yet to come. And again, remember, the Romans have barely committed anything to this fight yet. So there's going to be an entire Roman player back here ready to kind of be the second wall of defense. So, you know, you do need to be careful not to use all that missile because, again, the Romans are always going to be super, super scary. Though the missile fight is continuing to come in, we do have some Romans on this right-hand side. We've got more of the cohorts being thrown forward. And again, they're going to be obviously completely outmatching the Principes. To no extent, almost 10 more melee attack. Same weapon strength, actually. But way more armor. Yeah, almost 25 more armor. And Principes actually have more melee defense, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, I mean, they're not actually that much better, to be honest. But they are better, and that is going to obviously win in the long run. God, this guy is just teleporting around when he's trying to do this one animation. Finally going to get his kill. No, he's just going to go Pillow back in formation. He is going deep. Oh, he got him finally. And now he is completely surrounded him, and he also gets taken out. Not to be not surprising whatsoever. More of the siege towers being thrown forward. Or one of the siege towers actually going down. And a few of these other siege towers are also burning as well. They actually have plenty of time though. And yeah, putting pressure on this gate would not be a bad idea. And obviously you can also make your way around and just try and get involved in this battle. Oh, nice little missile off there. Finding the Iberian slingers as well is a very, very good target. Taking them down by 20 men. A nice move there by the Syrian archers. Do some decent damage. The artillery is also going in there, trying to take down the generals. I mean, you get a lucky kill on the general, that could completely turn the battle on its head. But so far, we're not seeing any major breaks in the defensive line. The defensive line is holding firm. However, we are seeing a gap appear or two, and the Romans are going to try and exploit that, but they're going to immediately find themselves going in onto the hoplite wall, which is going to be a huge struggle for them to break through from the front. They need something else to break so that they can get around that hoplite wall. Even though, you know, they are Evacii cohorts, so they're going to be able to cut through it eventually. It's just going to be slow work. As you can see, the attacking line has been separated now. The Romans on this left-hand side have completely wrapped up the defenders and broken the attacking line in two. And the morale is not looking great on this right flank. Yeah, they need another pressure point immediately. I mean, luckily they still have plenty of men. I don't even have that many men left. They have a lot of archers and I guess this rear guard. And to be fair, the defenders are running low on men, but this battle goes on for 42 minutes, so there must be a big breakthrough momentarily. I guess the fresh units are having to be reinforced, and as these fresh units arrive, that's going to make a big, big play. And the archers are also having a field day. Also, speaking of which, I guess they are running low on defenders in this pocket. And the missile fire is probably going to go silent pretty soon. It's been firing all battle for the past 10 minutes. So that probably will be running silent fairly soon. And that'll be a big, big help for the defenders, or for the attackers even. I can't believe how poor the morale was for the Seleucid soldiers. Oh yeah, and here we go. The silver shields are being brought in now. They're going to break through the enemy like they are butter. I say that though, but they're still kind of struggling. Only 40 kills on the unit of silver shields, and they're down to 60. Again, that's just all about missile fire. Does seem like there's no more missile fire coming in, though, which can definitely help them. The Romans have just reformed by preparing, and yeah, this next assault needs to happen, I think. because right now they are just getting picked apart. We do have some more Thorax Swordsmen climbing up the siege tower. That's not the unit I wanted to go to, but a nice little glimpse of the back ranks. And I guess the archers are falling back now, maybe either saving their ammunition or just deciding that there's nothing really that valuable to shoot at whatsoever. And yeah, here we go. We're starting to see the breaks for the defenders. There's a small unit of 34 Thorax Swordsmen able to break some of these Axemen and also the Painted Warriors. And they also believe, yeah, more of the units are arriving. But if the defenders wanted to, they could just kind of dispatch another unit or two like here and do a good job. It does seem like the Romans in the center have fallen back at least some of their units, yeah, deciding that maybe the outside isn't completely worth it. They've done considerable damage to the attackers. And they're just going to kind of fall back and set up there in a defense. I was also told as well that this battle does go down to the wire. So even if you think this is going to be a slaughter one side or another, it's not. There's a very, very cool ending apparently. So yeah, don't think that this battle is a whitewash either way. Because right now it does seem like the attackers have been struggling, but a balance of power is very much in favor of the attackers. I guess we can't see a lot of what the Romans have brought. So yeah, I guess maybe if two of the players have exhausted a lot of their infantry, there's still a lot here. And again, the Syracusans do have 4 units of Thorax Swordsmen just sitting in reserve. Abandoning the siege tower again before it blows up is not a bad idea. Yeah, to get out of that quickly, boys. And there's also an entire unit of Principes right there, so there are still plenty left in reserve. So yeah, pushing them back is not a bad idea with more reinforcements on the way. The mercenary Samnites are arriving as well. And yeah, they just need to clear up this section of the battlefield. As soon as this is cleared up, they can kind of bring their units inside the settlement. Obviously, taking the gate would be amazing because then they could more efficiently bring soldiers inside of the settlement, get their archers in, and then start to threaten the inner layers of the settlement itself. Yeah, you can already see some of the arrow fire being used just to push the enemy back, and we are getting a full-on retreat here. Yeah, it does seem like the generals are now falling back, so they just can't hold the walls. They're going to be thrown back into the enemy settlement. A few more Romans now appearing off in the distance. We have some more of the cohorts. Yeah, so a very elite defensive Roman player. And do keep in mind as well, the defenders do get a lot less of income than the attackers. So if we're seeing a full-on elite, like an ultra-elite Roman army, it means there's not going to be that many units. So again, saving this arrow fire for them, every one of these cohorts that they do kill is going to be massive. Oh, look at these guys there. They're remembering Canaan, they're floating, going to Mars. And I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up seeing all of these units in full-on retreat momentarily. Because as soon as this right-hand side breaks, it's just going to open the floodgates. The Seleucids have managed to wrap around now. Yeah, so this side is going to completely blow open any second now. That's a lot of units right here that are still here. There you go, completely broken up now. And then, yeah, it's up to the attackers to be quick, try and get around the back to stop anyone else from retreating. Just put pressure on the enemy. Well, I guess not so much going the right-hand side, but they want to quickly go in here and stop these units from retreating. You can see they're immediately retreating. The Romans are immediately pursuing them, though, and they want to try and trap these guys, stop them from getting out of there. And now the other siege towers can make their way forward. These towers are still shooting, but now they can push forward and really get into the faces of their enemy. You got the you got a kind of a fall-on hope unit right here, a rear guard of Eastern Spearmen throwing up. And these Romans are actually taking this, realizing they couldn't escape from the mercenary Samnite warriors. Basically just trying to trap them in so that more reinforcements can go in. Really nice play here by the attackers. But it does need to be reinforced because these units will kill the Samnite warriors fairly quickly. So they do need more soldiers here. They need to make sure they try and get around here as well. Just again to cut off that retreat. And now the defenders are being brought back. But I mean, that's not a bad defensive position that they do have still left in here. And again, we can't see all the units the defenders have, but there are going to be more in here. So they're going to be setting up quite nicely. Now the siege towers are being brought up. We have got a little sally out, though, by the Spanish cavalry, though. These guys are coming out looking to harass anything. I maybe think going after the artillery pieces. Again, I'm not sure if these guys have ammunition left. Oh, they already actually fought off a unit of cavalry as well. But yeah, so they're going to probably be going for that artillery. I assume it's probably all out of ammunition, though. Either way, though, a little bit scary. And the cavalry is now being brought over. But I say that there's not really any cavalry for the attackers whatsoever. So the artillery piece does seem like it is going to go down, whether it had ammunition or not. Rest of the battlefield, yeah, you can see that they are really trying to just pull through and escape here. But it does seem like there is no escaping. More silver shields turning up, and they're able to trap these Romans right here. And that's going to basically allow the attackers to get their forces inside the settlement. As soon as the gate does go down, obviously the towers will be shut off, and then they can bring in their soldiers pretty easily. So the envelopment arriving, and yeah, these poor Romans, nowhere left to go. They will have to fight to the death, because there is no escape. Yes, fight to the death or escape out. You know, fight your way out. There is only one ploy, one play. More Romans moving up, basically just to kind of act as a shield one. Yeah, you can see they're about to break momentarily. So for now, we'll probably get a big old kind of just push forward into the city. I'll cut ahead until we are ready for this final assault. And the attacking is going on. If anything major does happen, though, I will bring it back immediately. But I assume the defenders will be bringing their soldiers inside the settlement and then setting up an assault ready to go. The real fighting has now begun. The final assault has erupted. And they're throwing quite a lot forward. For some reason, the General's Bodyguard for a Roman player is leading the charge for honor and glory, charging through onto the noble fighters, who have also popped that melee attack bonus, so they need to be kind of careful. And they are also onto the noblemen. So I'm not really too sure what the Roman General is doing, but I respect it. For honor and glory, you're only going to earn a name by doing these crazy stuff. These crazy exploits, so got to respect it indeed. The R slingers set up over here. They can't really see too effectively because there are rocks here, but I think they just shoot through the rocks, honestly. But either way, the slingers are able to kind of put a lot of pressure onto the enemy archers if they come too close. Obviously, the slingers are the perfect unit to deal with these archers because of their longer range. They can basically sit on these walls and be like, bruh, if you come closer, we will take you apart. And the attacking players seem to be very careful with that. Roman General is still in here. He hasn't retreated yet. I don't really know why, but what the plan is right there. But either way, impressive nonetheless. The attacking Roman player has brought up more infantry as well over on this side of things. Again, going up against the Scutari. Going to be a hard fight up this hill, but the Principes are going to be able to put a lot of pressure on them. And eventually break this line. They are also supported by some heavier Roman infantry as well. So right now the assault is really coming in from two parts, here and here. There is also a left-hand side that they can try and break if they want to. Definitely is not a bad idea. Again, it'd be so nice to maybe just like hide a couple siege towers over on this side, hide some infantry, and then like assault this position at this point in the game. I guess a lot of the time, like, it's like you wish you had more troops to do stuff like that because the attackers are kind of spread. But just like imagine an assault coming in right now from the back, like that'd be pretty deadly, and you go down this route as well. Will be pretty scary. I think, again, as well, these Romans on this left-hand side are going to have to probably pull back at some point because the Scutari are not going to be able to hold this. They already are dropping quite a lot of men. The missile fire is solely focused on this position, and the archer fire is going to do a very good job at killing them. So I think it is only a matter of time until this flank breaks. And obviously, you do not want about 500 angry Romans coming into the side here, opening up this position and just killing your slingers and everything else that you do have, and then breaking back forward. Yeah, the Roman General is going to break. I have no idea what happened and why he was so aggressive. But again, I cannot fault it. It's an awful play, but a very, very admirable and heroic move indeed. And the Roman player is going to break. Luckily, they're Rome. They don't really care too much about morale. So they're going to be able to just keep on putting that pressure forward and be very, very aggressive. against the foe. But again, that's a pretty sturdy wall. We've got the noblemen from the faction, I can't remember, the Eastern Archers. So yeah, fairly sturdy line. It's a real shame as well. Wait, what? Is this like a glitch? Can you actually go up here? I mean, like, you should be able to, right? Like, the wall is so small. It'd be so cool as well if they could, like, you could create, like, makeshift stuff in the midst of battle to climb these walls. You know, send your units to, like, I don't know, make mini ladders so you could assault the inner wall. That'd be so cool. That'd be, like, so goddamn cool. Unfortunately, though, that Roman general going down is actually starting to play a bit of a role as the soldiers get tired. The morale has dropped to steady. They are also, you know, very close to being exhausted. So that losing that general might actually come back to bite them in the end. Luckily, there are plenty more reinforcements to bring forward, but even still a little bit scary. Does seem like as well they are not planning to go down this right-hand side whatsoever. They're just going to be looking to really put pressure on them. And probably when the Romans evacuate this place, they will then maybe go through this way and, yeah, try to open up another attack point. Because there are plenty of opportunities to do so. This hill, though, is causing some pretty big issues as more reinforcements do arrive to block this. However, they are very close to actually breaking through, and there's only a unit of Eastern Archers left holding them in their place. Warcry has been dropped trying to break this unit of Principes, but they are the elite Roman infantry of the pre-Marian era, and they will not break so easily. Luckily, the Romans are going to be arriving to fill this gap, but it'd be a really good idea just to try and pull through on these Eastern Archers and just try and get yourself, like, a little bit more around, so when this unit of elite cohort does arrive, you can maybe attack it from the side and the rear. There are fire arrows coming in as well. It would not be a bad idea to focus the fire arrows over on the right hand side as well. So I really think that's going to be how they do come out on top. Oh, also a unit of the Spanish cavalry marching around. I mean, my god as well. Look at the initial assault. That is just brutal. There are so many bodies. What a brutal battlefield. I mean, are going to find themselves a wonderful charge on the back of the Syrian archers. Again, not sure if they have ammunition, but either way, this is extremely nice. Able to get in on the Syrian archers, do some good Syrian damage, and then pull out of there, just harassing as best as they can. Because again, you know, with that Roman general going down, he would have been the perfect unit to hold the Spanish cavalry in place. Luckily, they do also have the towers as well, helping them out, which is kind of nice, actually. The cavalry is once again going to be able to push in and just rip through that formation as more and more arrow fire does come in from the towers themselves. That's going to be, as I said, really nice because that's going to kind of pick off the unit and just make it weak enough so that something else can deal with it. However, the attacking Romans are about to break. They have given all they can, and as they hit exhausted, they have dropped down to wavering. Warcry has been erupted from the generals, and I think we're going to get maybe a mass rout. We need some fire arrows, or any fire arrows right now would break this entire section, I think. The morale is just dropping so low. Oh man, that could have been deadly. I think the Romans are going to be able to sturdy the ship, but there you go, fire arrows coming in. Is that going to be enough? Oh, yeah, it is as well. Wow, a mass rout there. That is devastating for the attackers. Losing 3 full units, basically. Not full units, but 3 pretty healthy units is absolutely brutal. Very nice play there by the defenders. That was a clutch move right there. Over on the other side, it does seem like the Romans a very good job at actually breaking up this hill, and there's not really too much left here. We are getting the silver shields from the Seleucids, not quite being committed yet. They have fainted me. They move forward and then move back almost immediately. Again, might not be a bad idea to try and put pressure on this left-hand side now that the Romans are being brought back. However, this tower is going to be pretty deadly. Oh, and yeah, there's a lot more. There's a lot of Roman cavalry now sallying out, and that's probably why the silver shields are being brought back here to block this side, because, yeah, this cavalry could do some serious work if they are fast enough. Again, I think the silver shields are going to be a bit quick enough to deploy that, but again, this cavalry doesn't have to commit itself this early on. They are going to be going to charge, though, which I do not think is a great idea. The shield wall has been brought up. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're going to get some good damage off onto the general. And then just if they pull out fast enough, that's going to be pretty good. Also, hold these guys in place if they are looking to break out anywhere else. But with all the missile fire coming in, it's pretty deadly. Oh no, well, what happened to the other Roman unit here? Not sure what happened. I guess they pulled back for some reason. I don't really understand why they pulled back, because they had so many men still left here remaining. Now gaps have appeared. Now if the attackers want to, they can go through these gaps and really exploit them. Again, though, the attackers are really running low on ammunition. Sorry, on ammunition being the soldiers being their ammunition. Luckily, Syracuse does have, you know, a handful of infantry left. And the defenders are running low on men. You see that balance power is constantly moving up and forward, but it is in favor of the attackers still. So I guess what we see is what we get. This is kind of what the defenders have left. And if the ammunition runs dry pretty quickly, at this point, I think the defenders definitely can pull this one out of the bag. Because they have the choke points, they have the elite heavy infantry. It's just whether or not they can, yeah, just weather the storm. And yeah, obviously the Silver Shield swordsman, supported by the Thorax swordsman, massacred that cavalry, killed an entire unit of Equites and threw the other ones back. But luckily also they didn't get a javelin volley thrown in on them, because that would have been pretty scary as well. So not exactly sure what the defensive Roman player was like hoping to achieve with that. Maybe he clicked it and then just didn't see that, didn't see elsewhere. Yeah, the last couple of reserves are now coming into view, but these reserves are, you know, depleted. These aren't like super healthy full strength infantry. So now wouldn't be, I mean, again, it wouldn't be a bad idea to move down here, but then you leave your flank open to that cavalry. And now you know that cavalry is there. I guess you just want to continue your grind through the front lines. A lot of missile fire moving in as well, picking off a ton of infantry. But immediately as well, a lot of the missile fire focusing in onto the missiles themselves. Yeah, a lot of the javelins, for some reason, like picking this unit out of everything they could shoot. Instead, they're like focusing down on some Syrian archers back there. For whatever reason. I'm still so curious about this little section. Like, can they pathfind up here? Is this like a glitch? I guess they can pathfind up there because they are doing it. I'm not sure if this is intended, but either way, they are able to engage another unit on another front, so definitely not something to complain about. But look at that, the Roman centurion leading his men forward. Against the Greeks. Making sure he stays in formation, but he does not want to pull a pillow whatsoever. And yeah, that shield was so deadly as enemy Samnite warriors get thrown over into the back ranks, able to get picked apart by the second and third rank. And there are still plenty of reinforcements. I say plenty. Oh, that guy gets absolutely slaughtered. And he got his leg chopped off as well. Brutal stuff. There are still more reinforcements, though, in the back ranks, ready to move forward. And there you go. A fully committed Thorax sword unit. And again, they're going to be able to do work against these Syrian archers on this side. Again, exploiting these gaps is so important because they're not going to break through two thick units of Romans there. So exploiting these gaps is going to be very important if they hope to achieve victory. Luckily as well, the defensive Romans have done a good job at holding this side as well. With archer fire coming in as well, like, yeah, I think this is a smart idea. Move the Thorax hoplites to defend this, bring up the silver shields and the Thorax swordsmen, and commit them in because the hoplites aren't going to be doing as much damage as anyone else is. You know, like the swordsmen are going to be wanting to get stuck in there because, again, they just need to trade efficiently at this point, and they definitely will win. So yeah, reinforcing this right-hand side with the Syracusan general, bringing up maybe a unit of Thorax swordsmen to commit to this fight. Because the unit of Thorax swordsmen can definitely go toe-to-toe with a depleted cohort unit, so bringing them up is not a bad idea. And we don't even necessarily have to, like, deploy two units here. Just, like, deploy, like, really stretch out a unit like this, and they could probably pull through, but they would take casualties. I mean, you just want to really, really overload the enemy. I don't think there's like any missile fire left. There's maybe a couple units of archers with a few rogue shots, but it's very, very few. And this is really just like kind of the last real assault. Syracuse have brought up more of their spears, but again, not really the super effective unit. Luckily though, the Thorax Swordsman up to 135 kills, so pretty impressive stuff, and able to put a lot of damage onto the cohorts of Scutari, who are throwing themselves into the breach once more. More of the Thorax being thrown up again. Probably trying to utilize them javelins, but again, they could quite... Yeah, there you go. The javelins being used. Not many of them finding their mark, but some of them are actually able to be used pretty effectively. And the more the Romans come down this hill, the worse it's going to be for them, because, again, you could probably sneak a unit up, hit this little path right here, get into the side of them. Over on this other side as well, Syracuse have broken through this weird trail, which I don't know if it's a bug or not. But either way, you know, the defenders are running extremely low on infantry. And even though this balance of power is taking into account a lot of these archer units, which are basically useless, they still need to be very careful. And look at that, again, the Roman cavalry tried to break through to cause any defensive position, but found themselves being cut down pretty effectively. Only 31 units on that one, models on that unit, and 16 on the general unit. If these guys get caught down, it's going to be deadly, and especially with like a javelin volley as well. That would be the end of them. Able just to scare them off. Obviously, their goal is probably going to go after this big clump of archers. Even got some archer fire coming in and helping out as well. Sacrificial lamb there just to give the general time to pull out. But yeah, they're going to be killed almost immediately. Obviously, the main focus is going after this big blob of archers. But there are swords here to stop it, so yeah, maybe a bit more premature, but I guess you have to go at some point, right? If you sit around all day, you're just never, ever going to be able to get yourself stuck in, and the cavalry is going to end up being useless. So just a glorious charge. Oh, that volley, though. Oh, my God. RIP to the Roman general. That was absolutely brutal. Luckily, though, there's not many Romans left, so it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think it will affect the morale massively, as more of the Syrian archers now are committed to this fight. The Greeks are, though, persistent, and they will not give up fighting up this hill. They plan to continue on going until they win or death finds them. Oh, I'm actually going to pull back and I guess let a fresh unit advance in. And every time as well, you are dragging soldiers who are on guard mode further down the hill. So able to take care of these Syrian archers pretty effectively, honestly. However, Romans at the main breach are doing a pretty good job. You can see the pile of bodies just where the battle line has been pushed back from. Deadly stuff indeed. Scutari are going to continue to fall back. They also actually do have a very nice envelopment here as well. Not bad whatsoever. Pretty impressive indeed. That's going to be doing added damage, obviously, to the battle itself, coming in from that side. And it's probably going to be the time soon to throw up these archers. But they're just going to be so useless. But I guess bodies, if they want to do anything with these archers, they just want to pull them through the gaps. There are gaps here and here. And then just get the envelopment and just try and break the Romans. That's basically all these archers are sent to do. And also would not be a bad idea to maybe send the archers just all the way around as well. And just try and hit them in the back. There's not much infantry spare at this point in the battle. And as soon as this unit of the Lucky Eye do break, that is going to be very, very scary indeed for them. There's even some rogue javelins coming in still as well. Somehow, there's still some javelin fire there. Luckily, a bunch of them aren't finding their mark because every Roman does count at this point. Yeah, I say that as a lot of them find their mark, yeah. That's going to be brutal. Luckily, yeah, that's why the Scutari were brought back, though, to maybe go and hit that other right-hand side. Yeah, more archers are being thrown in. And this fight is having to be kind of the main focus point. More reinforcements thrown in. Luckily, though, they're kind of getting in on the flank here. So, not a bad setup whatsoever. I'm not sure why they're stationary. Maybe waiting for javelins, maybe? Yeah, going to throw in a few javelins there. Get stuck in a little bit more. And that's not bad. Going into the side of this unit is going to definitely rack up the kills. There's also a spare unit here that, again, as I keep on saying, quite easily move around. They also managed to defend this weird breach thing. But again, I think the archers are maybe going to go up there along with the 4-act hoplites of the general. The right-hand side is dropping down there. They are down to only 74 men now. I say that they have got 200 kills, which is very impressive. And battle is looking very good for the attackers right now. Yeah, and archers are now having to be committed to this fight. However, the Skitarii are going to be very aggressive here, try and get around the flank of the Seleucid general, which I definitely don't think is a bad idea. You get on the flank of this general, you kill him, and then you cause a mass rout. That could definitely happen. That is definitely one of the win conditions. As this general is exhausted, he's been using the whip. And he's going to pull out of that fight, realizing that he doesn't want to fight against winded and active Roman infantry. So pull that whip, do some damage, and then pull out. However, he's down to 99 men, so not super effective. The hoplites there from the noblemen have set up. However, the Romans are dropping. God, this unit has just been a bastion. Up to 230 kills now. Absolutely insane, just holding the ground to the very last. And yeah, the Greeks are being very, like, not wanting to engage these Romans, which I can definitely understand. They're going to have to, right? They have to break through at some point. More archers being thrown forward now as well. And they're going to have a hard time breaking this frontal defensive unit, obviously. But they have the numbers to do so. More archers being thrown over here. The Romans are just still holding 61 men up to 265 kills. A perfect unit to hold the front line. How are the other Romans doing as well? 160, not bad. They are taking a lot of javelin fire, though, from this unit of 4-axe. Yeah, and dropping their numbers down pretty decisively. But do keep in mind as well, like I said this earlier, the balance of power bar is taking into account all of these archers, which are basically useless unless they can get a flank. So if the Romans are able to kill the front lines, like the infantry, which I don't think they're going to be able to do, but if they are able, and then say all these archers then come flying in and hit the flank, or can't hit the flank and have to fight frontally, it's going to be a massacre. As you can see, the nobleman here got like another 80 kills, or like another 15 kills there. Pretty effectively. However, we are now getting the silver shields looking to be committed to this position. And they're one of the units that are able to actually break through a hoplite wall. Up to 124 kills now as well. So putting a lot of pressure on these guys. Hoplites actually falling back, allowing the Eastern archers to kind of take the brunt of the assault. And then the hoplites kind of come in at the flank. Not a bad position whatsoever. I still cannot believe that this Roman unit is holding 310 kills still. And yeah, there we're going. Some archers are being brought around the cycle. There's just nothing left to really stop them and get in their way, right? If they just send like 5 units of archers back there, what can defenders do? There's just no spare units. I mean, you get an outflank, you can break these archers that are causing you a bit of an issue. Really nice move. Or you just sit and take the city center and be like, bro, you have to come back and defend the city center, otherwise we win the battle. It's not a bad plan whatsoever. The Romans have been giving up their high ground, though, and pretty dangerous. If the attackers want to, and they have spare infantry in the side there, obviously the Skitarii are blocking an assault from this side, but yeah, they kind of pushed off this defensive ground, and that's going to be a little bit scary. And it does seem like as well the silver shields are going to break through that momentarily. However, the Evakidai cohort up there in the north have done an insanely effective job there, and they're actually going to be able to break that. However, silver shields have now broken forward. Obviously, they have to go back and deal with this unit of Persian light archers. It's a good thinking there by the attackers. And yeah, now that this infantry is now there. Oh my god, they broke the other unit of silver shields! This cohort unit is insane! Up to almost 400 kills. There's only 33 of them left, but man, these are the stonewall defenders of this city. Able to move in now, get a nice little outflank on the general. Obviously, they're going to be exhausted. They're also somehow fresh. How the hell is that? They're able to come in the flank or in the back of these silver shields. These guys are not done. Yeah, I think it's a 400 kill game for these guys. Man, this is probably one of the best units I've ever seen. Able to get right into the rear of the silver shields. Crazy stuff. And the Persian archers have captured that city center, so Yeah, a little bit scary, honestly. Yeah, then Romans is going to continue to rack up the kills. Yeah, the Scutari now having to go back to try and reclaim that city center. Scary stuff indeed. But the front lines, like the Seleucids, are running out of men. Syracuse only have 1 unit left. These Roman units are just so goddamn elite. That city center being taken is forcing more soldiers back. And even though these units are like surrounded, they've each got over 200 kills. Man, what a crazy siege battle we are witnessing right now. Truly, truly epic. Able to really push back their opponents. And yeah, luckily the Seleucids have finally managed to break that unit of the absolute beast defenders. I felt like this battle could go either way. Because again, if you take these archers out of the equation, if they break the 4x swordsman here, which they definitely can do, they've taken back the city center as well. So the Seleucids are going to be even more up against it. If they break these 4x, then it's anyone's game. It literally is. We've still got Scutari left. The archers are now having to go in, which can make a difference. But yeah, look at that. The 4x are now broken. These guys can go back. Oh my god. This ending is absolutely insane. I've got my hands on my head. I honestly do not know who's going to come out on top. Luckily, the Silver Shields are able to repel the enemy. But then again, so did the nobleman from a faction I can't remember how to pronounce. Silver Shields now going in on the general. However, they don't need to. There's just archers and a bunch of infantry. Like, the defenders have this. The defenders have this battle, surely, but just have to kill the Silver Shields. And then it's just a bunch of 4 archers. And these Romans are going to do that pretty easily. The defenders have this battle. My god. Surely they do. Balance power is now even. They are engaging, obviously, the Silver Shields from the front. There's only 40 of them left. And the Silver Shields are using their whip, just trying to do as much damage as physically possible. Yeah, obviously the envelopment is so important here. Not really sure what's happening in this unit's Scutari. Maybe the battle desynced a little and this unit actually isn't here. But either way, this unit, if it is here, needs to be moving. I imagine maybe the Abasi player went AFK, maybe? I don't know. Oh, this unit is just not here. And look at that. Everything going in. Just trying to break the Romans. The archers could be the MVPs of this battle. Charging into the back of the Abakadai cavalry. Oh my god, they can break them. The archers MVP. I've been talking smack about them this entire battle. And they're going to make me eat all my words. Or are they not? The archers are now dwindling. However, one Roman unit has now broken. Will the other one break before the Silver Shields? The archers moving out. They have! Oh my god, they've gone down and it's just one unit of noblemen left remaining on the battlefield. These Scutari, if they are here, if they are not just a ghost unit, need to be moving in. The rest of Syracuse have also got their morale dropped down so massively. If only one unit could come in. If this unit is here, they need to move in. This battle is insanely close. Morale is going to decide this. With only 16 of the noblemen left remaining, though, I can only imagine that their time is up. Morale dropping. They are running back to the Scutari, who I guess have glitched out, which is so unfortunate. They don't need to do anything. The Syracuse can just fall back and just take this capture point, and then that's GG. I think the attackers have this. Oh my god, the archers were the MVPs of this battle. One absolutely insane ending to this battle, and at this point there's nothing either side can do. The timer is ticking. For whatever reason, these Scutari are not moving. As I said, I can only assume they glitched out. They got stuck on something, or, you know, Rome 2 doing Rome 2 things. And I think that literally cost them a battle, because if this unit Scutari could do anything, then yeah, that maybe could have killed the archers, stopped them from outflanking, killing the Roman units, and yeah, that is GG indeed. Man, what an insane ending to this battle. And if you guys thought so, make sure you do drop a like and a comment down below. Definitely share it with your friends, as the battle was insane. Yeah, this unit must have got glitched out. Or maybe he had to go, but the unit is there because they're all attacking it. So, really unfortunate there at the end. That unit could have been everything they needed to finish this one. Insane stuff. And a pretty large battle as well. Over 8,000 men. or 6,000 men on either side. Pretty crazy indeed. So let's take a look at the kills themselves. Yeah, pretty nice kills on the 4-axe, but I mean, it was really these guys. Look at 390 kills, 200 kills, 459 kills, 300 kills. Rome is just so strong in a siege. However, mercenary Sam Knight warriors for Syracuse doing insane as well. Over 370 kills on one of them. The Seleucid general over 300 kills, pretty impressive. And then also obviously just for Romans doing Roman things. Principes, solid arse unit. We're not going to kind of outmatch the other cohorts, but we're going to definitely make their money back on their price. Definitely a very good cost efficient unit indeed. Oh yeah, Colchis over here. This is what the faction was called. Who would have known it? They're hoplites. I love the noble infantry. The Artemides wings on the helmet is so cool, and then the Arabasi as well. The Scutarii, cheap unit, pretty effective indeed, and the general over 300 kills as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.